Right, boys and girls, quick update today. Bitcoin is 93,171. Beautiful. So like I said, quick update. I'm a bit tired, just been to the gym, just been for a run. I need to have a shower. But I wanted to get this out and get you guys updated on my trades for the week. Took some nice trades today, if you're following my ex. Yeah, if you're following my ex, you would have seen that. If not, then you wouldn't have. So go and follow my ex. Anyway, so what did we have earlier today? As you can see on the hourly MACD, at about 9 o'clock this morning, we had a crossover on the MACD, which is a nice sign for me. 9 o'clock this morning was here. So we had a MACD hourly bullish cross and then a slow grind up, which eventually broke this 15-minute high just here. You can see that's a clear 15-minute. You can see that it's a clear high. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 multiple candles. We need to see at least 3 in the opposite direction to call it a decent high. In this case, we've got maybe a half a dozen. So a really nice high. You can see this one here is just 2 candles. So I wasn't considering this one, just this one up here. So hourly MACD crossover happened about 9 o'clock, and then at about 3:15 we had a break and a candle close above this high. Really nice. Exactly what I was waiting for to go long. This is an indication to me that we're going to start a small trend upwards, and that may end before we get to that hourly high, but it tells me that on the 15-minute time frame we're going to get a small move, which we did, and we traded this, as I said, on my ex. Where was I updating you? Just here, you can see the GTO long. Total, I updated you on the total that the 15-minute was reversing. We were having a bullish market structure shift. Exactly what happened here. You can see the close that we had at 12:30. And again, if you want to be getting these updates real time, you need to be following my ex, because I updated you the minute this happened, and I waited long, and then I also added a bit on this retrace. We didn't quite get a 50% retrace, but down to the 382, which is nice. But again, I updated you on my ex. So I'll quickly go over the trades I took today so you can see. On Brett, clear structure that breaks, nice pullback, and then a nice move upwards. So this was a clear break of trend on the 15-minute. I entered the trade on the 0.382 retracement. This was a bullish enough push for me to enter on just a 382 retracement rather than the 50%. Targeted 1-to-1 on this trade. I have taken some profits at 1-to-1, but I'm holding for now to see if we break that hourly structure, hoping that we do. I think there's a good argument for us breaking the hourly high because of how low we've come in this move. It's a pretty cold move that we had. I think a lot of people got a bit wrecked here, so it's time for a bounce. Hopefully my sound is okay. Not too loud, not too quiet, but if somebody joins, please let me know if the sound's alright. And again, if you've got any questions or anything, pop them in the comments. If you've got any altcoins you want me to analyse, pop them in the comments too. I'm very happy to do that. Like I said, I'm just going to do a quick one today. I'll be here another 5-10 minutes. So this 15-minute break allowed us to take some nice trades today. For example, the Brett one. I also took the Tau position. You can see we have a market structure break here. This candle closes below, so it's a clear market structure break. And then this is our 15-minute high, which we again close above. It's not just a wick, we close above it. In a lot of cases, I would enter on the break, target 1-to-1, but in this case, I was allowed to enter on a small retrace, which was nice. You don't always get these, and if you do get a 50% retrace after a 15-minute bullish MSS, especially when the hourly MACD is flipping bullish, it's a perfect entry. In this case, I didn't manage to get the 382, we didn't pull back, but I was lucky I entered here because we haven't yet gone below that. I'm going to pull my fib up as we didn't come back 50%, and I can remain in this position, expecting a pullback to the 50%. And if we break this low, I'll be stopped out. So we'll see for this Tau trade. But I do expect this market structure shift on the 15-minute to continue for at least a little bit. Let's see where that hourly high is. That's not a market structure break on the hourly. Neither is this. So you could either call this our high or this our high if you want. I think I'd be more inclined to go for this high here. So it may be that I end up taking profits before we hit 1-to-1, but we'll see how the structure is and we'll see how the total looks. If the total breaks the hourly MSS, the hourly high, which I'll speak about in a minute, then I'll hold all of these long positions. But like I always say on the show, at 1-to-1, I take 50% off the trades. This is how I protect my capital. So this is the current Tau trade. As you can see, 15-minute market structure shift, small retracement, entry, and the ride. This is another one I spoke to you about my ex. Clear downtrend here, beautiful downtrend. Very, very clear. And it's also clear when we break it. With this one in particular, you can see we only had a wick MSS. So the candle didn't close above on the 15-minute. It did close below and produce a market structure break here. This low here, we closed below on the 15-minute. So a clear market structure break, which is why I waited until the 382 to enter this one. Due to it not closing, it was a lot riskier to enter on the break. So hence why I waited for the retracement. In any case, I could have actually waited for the 50% or the 618. These would have been better trades. This is why patience is a virtue sometimes in crypto and trading in general. So we're currently in a profit. But again, I'm going to target 1-to-1. I do expect this trend to reverse. Hopefully from now. But we will see about that. BNB trade, similar setup. Got some nice liquidity building below. We wicked, took this liquidity, and then also showed a 15-minute market structure shift here. I entered on the break because of the liquidity sweep and because of the amount of liquidity we were leaving above. I'm sitting in this trade still. I've taken a lot of profits on the QNT trade. This one is a lot more bullish. You can see we've already had the hourly market structure shift here. Really beautiful move. Really push up, really big push up. And we're having a bit of chop sideways and downwards now. Hourly high currently sits here. So we're not bullish on the hourly until we break this level. We're only bullish on the 15-minute time frame. Close market structure break, wick market structure shift, hence why I waited for a retracement. I've taken profits at 1-to-1, so this is the trade. If I'm stopped out now, it'll be a break-even trade, which is nice, but I will hold until I see a 15-minute bearish market structure shift. If this occurs below the hourly high, I'll close all of the position. But if we break the hourly high, I will assume that we're reversing the hourly trend, and we're actually going to go on and make new highs on the hourly time frame. So, as I said, I've taken profits, but I'm actually going to hold out the rest of this one. I see good things for this coin right here. So that's the 15-minute market structure shift that we had today. As I mentioned, with the hourly MACD flipping bullish. I was tweeting all day about it. Those trades are in a profit and should mostly be closed out as scalps. Beautiful trade I gave you on my X earlier with XRP. Wick market structure break, close market structure shift, perfect 50% retrace, entry 1-to-1, hold until a bearish market structure shift. You're already at an almost 2R here. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the hourly structure. On Bitcoin, we can see clearly in the downtrend. This is what the trend looks like. And so anywhere below this high here, we can create a lower high and the subsequent lower low. This can absolutely happen. What will tell me this is going to happen is if we have a 15-minute bearish market structure shift. So within this uptrend that we have, if we see something like this, that'll be a sign to close your longs and expect lower. What would be really nice though is if we push through this 1 hour, small retracement, and then we reverse the hourly trend. This could bring us up to the 4-hour high, which currently sits here. You can see how the different time frames are working well with each other. This is our 4-hour structure here. And as you move higher in the time frames, the lower ones become much less obvious. So within this 4-hour downtrend right now, you can barely see the hour downtrend. It's only when you go down that it becomes clear. Again, with the 15-minute, it's only when you go down that it becomes clear. So it's tough to expect anything right now. But what I would like to see is this 15-minute market structure shift continue. Perhaps we get a pullback now. Let's see about the hourly market. The hourly MACD does look like it wants to flip red for a bit. This might bring us down to the 50. If we get that, it would be a nice move up. And like I said, we can choose to close this out if we have a bearish market structure shift, or we can choose to hold it out if we break. That would be my preferred scenario. So we'll have to see how this plays out. But we've got our scalps for today, all in a profit. 2 of them closed at 1-to-1, 50%. And now we wait and we see what the structure provides us with. Hopefully an hourly market structure shift. If we have an hourly market structure shift here, that would just be a beautiful indication that we're going to reverse the hourly trend and have a little bit of a relief rally here, which will be really nice for our trades that we took today. How does the total look? Total looks the same. This is the hourly structure on the total. Clear as day. We need to break this high to break the hourly structure. 15-minute market structure shift gave us this move. Same here. but it can only bring us up to the hourly high if we're still bearish. It can't take us any higher unless, obviously, we're flipping bullish on the hourly, and that's what I would like to see. We'll have to see how this reacts. But if we break this high, massive indication for me that we're reversing the hourly time frame downtrend, which would be huge. I mean, this is a nice, I mean, you could get a 10% move out of this if we do reverse. Looking on the daily, could that be the bottom of this retracement? Absolutely. We've retraced nicely between the 0.5 and the 0.618 here of the daily leg. What will be an indication that we're going to reverse this trend? Well, a daily break. We need to break this level to tell me that this trend is reversing. Until then, you know, we can remain bearish and we can easily have something like this occur. If we break this daily high, then it's likely we'd have a retracement and continue higher. So it's all about seeing how the structure plays out right now, seeing what the market allows us to do. It allowed us to have a nice 15-minute bullish market structure shift trade today. And let's see how the hourly high holds. See how we react in this bearish OB here, because there is sell pressure. Once we get up to this level here, we'll have to see how we react. But like I said, if we push through, that's really bullish. Same with XRP. This looks really nice already. Actually, we've had an hourly market structure shift, wick, twice. And now we're in this bullish order block. Had a couple of nice reactions from it. We'll have to see if we can break this hourly high. If we can break this hourly high on XRP, again, I still feel how I do about the total, that we're going to have a push. Only if we break the hourly high. What's going on? We've got a couple of people live. How's it going, people? Put any questions in the comments if you would like to know anything. If you want me to chart any alts, I'm happy to help. Yeah, so you can see the 15-minute scalp I took today. And we're going to hold out for a little bit to see if we break that hourly. ETH is the same. 15-minute break, push, wait for that hourly break. Have an hourly break, retrace and push. If not, new lows. AVAX, I was waiting, once we had this market structure shift, I was waiting for some liquidity to be taken. I did not enter this trade. This was the trade I missed today. But we did break the 15-minute, take liquidity, pull back to the 50%, and I would like to see a push here. That's what the market's telling me right now, is we're going to get another push. Hence why I'm holding out all these longs. That is the update. Let me know if anything doesn't make sense, or let me know that you get that it all makes sense. Otherwise, follow my X so you can get live updates. I'll let you know when I'm going live, when I'm taking trades, exactly what I'm thinking. Or don't. It's up to you. I don't really care. But this is a nice push, consolidation below the low, liquidation, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. This is a beautiful move up, and again we're having accumulation again, so we'll have to see if the pattern plays out again. But I would love to see an hourly market structure shift here on the total and on Bitcoin. This would be really bullish for me. Yo, how's it going, mate? You want me to look at Sol? Of course. Of course. Nice to see you, man. Thank you for joining. I hope your day's gone well. Hopefully you managed to catch a couple of trades today. Before I look at the 15 minutes, let's have a look how the daily looks. Cool. So I'm not sure long term for Sol, simply because of this break of this low here. At this point here, I sold out all my Sol. I was too uncertain, especially with this move up here. It was creating too much liquidity. I knew this drop was coming. Long term, I'm not holding this. Short term, we've got a couple of bullish order blocks here. This is a strong one. This is another strong one. What do we do then? We wait for the price to enter these zones, and then we wait to see how they react. So our first zone has been reached, and this is how the structure looks. Difficult with this big wick here, really difficult. Yo, Hamza, nice to see you, man. I'm doing well, thank you, bro. How are you? Nice to have you both here. So 4 hours a little bit difficult to see with this big wick, so we'll drop down to the hourly. Hourly structure is clear. Very clear. So what do you think I'm going to say? We need to see a break of the hourly high, right? This is our bearish order block. Currently in it now, we'll see how we react. If we can break above this high, that'll be an hourly market structure break. So what you'd like to see is a retracement, a small or a large, and then from there, a push to reverse this hourly trend. Only if we have an hourly market structure shift. Let's see how the 15-minute looks. So if we have a rejection here, if we break below 3 candle, we break below this low, then we're likely going to make new lows because we're reversing the 15-minute trend while it's still in the hourly downtrend. What I actually would expect, because we have a liquidity pool just above us here, it'd be more likely that we see a wick through this to take liquidity to create a new high. Therefore, this would be the new low. And then if we break that low, it would signal lower. Problem is, I trade off of the total. Yes, exactly, mate. Exactly. You know exactly the deal. Problem is, like I said, the total we had a 15-minute market structure shift bullish on the total. And so if we can see an hourly, that would be bullish for all alts, most alts. And so if we can break the hourly on the total, I 100% expect Solana to break this high too. Solana's already within this bearish OB on the hourly. And so actually the total is lagging behind slightly compared to Sol. We've not yet reached this bearish OB on the total yet. So if we can get a push on the total up to this OB, that might be enough to send Solana over the hourly high and produce an hourly market structure shift. So that's how these may work together. We'll see. It does look like we're having a small retracement as of now. Like I said, the hourly MACD does need a little bit of relief. So this may bring us down before we head higher and go for the break of the hourly, but we'll have to see. But that is how I would like Sol to play out. If we can get a nice market structure shift here on the hourly retracement, that'll be a perfect entry on a long in expectation of at least a move higher to bring us up to the 4-hour bearish OB or to the 50% of the leg. So yeah, I can see that playing out if we have a market structure shift, and that will offer us a really nice long position. 1.5 hour. Jobs are good. That'll play out across multiple alts as long as the structure looks similar. Yeah, nice to see you, man. Thank you both for joining. It's nice to have you both here, actually. I don't usually have more than one person live with me. Hamza, you got any questions? You got any charts you want me to look at? I'm going to jump off in a couple of minutes, because I think this update, hopefully you understand the structure, still within the hourly bearish structure, but the 15-minute is giving us some indication that there was some buying pressure coming in. Let's just hope that that buying pressure is enough to take out the hourly high. Cool, we'll leave it at that. But just to recap, we're bearish. In all honesty, we're bearish until we break the hourly high. On the 15-minute, we can make a case that we're bullish. But at any point now, we could reject. I'm taking a punt with this 15-minute market structure shift on a few alts. I'm taking a punt that it's going to break the hourly high. 4-hour cross bullish needs some relief. Really does need some relief here. So yeah, I'd like to see a bounce at some point here. But we have our risk management sorted. If we get stopped out of these trades, we're fine. You need to sort your risk management out. We've taken profits on 2. We're holding 2. We're going to see how Bitcoin looks on the hourly. See if we break the hourly. But we remain cautiously bullish due to this 15-minute break. But yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Again, I'll keep you updated on the X. Going to give that a follow. As you can see, I'm losing followers daily. People obviously don't see the value in this, so come along. But yeah, thank you both for joining. Nice to see you. And I'll hopefully see you tomorrow or Friday. Peace.